Hi everybody, I am going to do a quick tutorial today on making stencils, and we're going to use Photoshop, we're going to use Wicked Stencils, and then we're going to move those into Cricut to make the actual stencil to cut. So let's get started. First what we're going to do is go to our Google, and you can go to Google Images or just regular Google, but either way, you're going to want to search what you want to make a stencil of. So I have actually some saved already, but just for showing you how you should actually search for them, let's just go with looking for how about um let's do Lakers logo. Okay. So when you're searching for a logo, you want to go to the tools selection, push size, and then search for large. Each time that you search for something or you move from this page, you do need to go back and look at that large selection to make sure it's selected because it, vaults back. But the reason why you want to get larger um, images is because of the pixels and it being harder to work on and it not like being a smooth line. So anyways, that's how you would want to Google search these, okay? So you can do two things if you want to, save this. You can either do a save as image and save it in like a file, which I do have those. I already have that one, cool. Or you can right click it and push copy image. And let me show you what happens when you do that. I actually like this one a lot too. Let's do copy this image. Okay. So you can exit out of your Google. That's all we're going to do for that. But now you're going to open up your Photoshop. So, okay, there we go. So the reason why I copied it was because if you go to File New, you see how that just changed? That is meaning that it's actually creating a size that's exactly the same size as what's on your clipboard. So if you were to go select it, push edit, paste, see, it goes perfect. Okay, well, why don't we just make this stencil because this is really cool. Okay, so first thing we're gonna do when you have your image on Photoshop, we're gonna unlock the background and we're gonna remove the background. Okay. Um, the next thing that we're going to do is get our image size correct. So go to image size, and then you're going to go to this resolution section and push 300. This actually makes it bigger so you can work better with it. And also make sure that the resample is selected and it's by cubic smoother for the enlargement. Okay, because it smooths out your lines. Okay, great. So if you push control then subtract, you're gonna be able to move and zoom in and out. And if you do control plus, you can do that, zoom in. But let's get it to where we're working really nice with it, and we're gonna do that. Okay, so first, what we're gonna do now that we have our image large, we're gonna remove the background, okay? So go to the magic wand tool. And for some reason it's okay. Oh, got it. So let's select your layer. Now go ahead and push the background, select the background and push delete or backspace. So this is great. I think we're instead of like removing this as, background, like this areas, we're just going to keep it like that and it will be part of your stencil. Okay, so what you're going to do now is deselect that. So now we have a beautiful cut, clean logo, no background, so we can start creating our stencil. Okay, so when you, so sorry. Okay, so for instance, whenever you are going to your plugins, you are going to be using the Wicked stencil. You can also, if you don't have it already and you want to get it, you just go to your plugins, do browse plugins or manage plugins, and then you can Google, or not Google, excuse me. You can just search in the bar WICKED Stencil plugin, okay? So you push that, and let's get that big. And here's your little pop-up for your plugin. So all you gotta do is push show stencil. Okay, great. So just to like make it easier and visually, better for us to see what's good and what's not, let's just go ahead and change the colors as closely as we can. Okay, great. So we'll just do this one here. Close enough. And then this color right here, we're gonna do a better purple. Oops, let's do like a darker. Here we go. Oops. Okay. This right here, we'll do white. Okay. Sweet. And then let's see. I mean, to me, I feel like the colors are all there. Yeah. So the colors are all here. This blue right here, let's make this black. Sweet. Okay, so now that you have your colors chosen, I'm going to go start from the top and kind of explain what these are. So this is your numbers of layers. So you can actually make up to 12 layers. This one definitely does not need 12 layers, but I think we were at 4. You can adjust it like when you're going in and you're figuring out how to make your image a stencil, you probably will have to play with this to make sure that you are having enough layers. So that is what this side is for. Edge detail. So this is going to be basically like cleaning up your lines. I mean, you just kind of move and play again with this toggle here. And like if I were to make it like really far up there, you see how it's created this like blurry image. It's not precise anymore. That's I think a happy medium is like right in the middle at like 4 or 5, give or take. Uh, yeah, like I mean, I feel like that's pretty good. And if not, I wonder if we were to like completely remove it, I think that we could actually live with that because technically, I think because we smoothed out these lines that it doesn't need to be smoothed anymore. Okay, cool. So next is going to be these little corner offsets. So this right here are these little plus signs, which is like your indicator that your stencil's in the correct spot when you're painting. So that's just basically going to move them up and down, and because we want to save space when we're cutting with the Cricut, try to get it as close as possible without like overlapping the image or being inside of the image. Sorry. So let's just let's get it like right here. Yeah, maybe even closer. Okay, I think this is really good. All right, and then the padding. Again, yeah, it's gonna just move that thing up and down. We don't need it to be, well, that's a little too close. So, again, play with it, see what works. Oh, wow, this actually came out great. I didn't even do anything. Okay, so this right here is gonna be how you are like creating your layers. So, are your multi-layers. So always, this is the number one rule is that when you are doing your colors, the first layer right here, it's got to be the furthest to the right, and then as it goes down each layer, it needs to be going like in uh like a descending line that is I guess or I don't know. You know what I mean? It's like an escalator almost. So this is how it needs to be. So as you're moving these colors, which I really liked where we were at, I do not want to lose it. So yeah, no. Oh man, I hope I don't lose that. There we go. So I'm actually going to write these numbers down just so I can show you what they look like, but then actually bring them back to that same. 1. So it's 215, 147, 43. Okay. So if I were to like put this all the way down, it's gonna make the whole thing white, right? So we're trying to get this, and then I think if you bring it all the way to the right hand side, you're gonna be getting it like removed. So a happy medium is like this 203, 215. Honestly, this 203 is a little too much because you can see where it's kind of right here. So let's do 215 or 218 is pretty good. Okay, well that's good enough. Okay, great. So then like let's say your second layer is above that first layer. You see how it's got this error message? That's because you can't actually go past the layer before because it will give you an error. So it's telling you you need to be going in this direction. So again, you kind of just play with it. I was at 147. The 65 looks pretty good too. To be honest, let's see if it makes any difference if I put it at the 47 again. Yeah, I mean, looks good. So, and then again, can't go like this because you get the error message and plus it removes your color. So we're gonna go back to that 42 range. 45 is good too. Okay, if it looks good and it looks like the image that you want, because it can not look like it, so you need to make sure your numbers are, in a um, good position, then you're going to push OK. Okay, it looks like it didn't do anything because we got it so close to the actual colors, but it actually removes this image. See, the original image is actually gone and well, it's not gone, it's just hidden. And they did take the colors and everything that we created in Wicked Stencil and they just created multi-layers, okay? So now that you have your multi-layer created, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select them all and I'm going to go to image size and I'm going to make it just a little smaller. Let's go with percentage and do 50%. Okay, and let's see what that happens with that. Okay, so it's a little smaller. Now let's make our canvas size larger. So do image, canvas size. And then let's do a percentage again, and let's go with 250% on each within heights. Okay, so this might even be a little too big, but we're going to start with this first. So go to your first layer, 4, and you're going to push this select button, and you're going to drag it all the way to the corner. Okay, select your next layer, drag it to the corner. Not overlapping these plus signs, okay? Okay, next is layer 2. We're gonna move that right here. Nope, see, it's overlapping, so let's move it there at the bottom. And then the last one is your number 1. Okay. And each time you want to adjust these, you have to select the layer. So I'm gonna actually move that one here. And then just for your own sake, you can always just get the original image, which does not have the little plus signs. Sorry, I gotta select it. And you can actually just put it in the middle of your layers because you want to have that as your reference photo or something for your when you save on your computer for later reference or whatever it might be. Also, what's really cool is that you can use this as a totally blacked out image so that you can just have that negative image when you're doing your stencils later. So this is, a good thing to incorporate. So now what we're going to do is let's just evaluate the canvas itself. So you see how we have this extra room? We're going to go ahead and clean it up. And the reason why is because if it's too big, it won't upload into Cricut. So crop that up. So anyways, let's go to File. You have to export it as a PNG. Okay, so go to Quick X or Export and then Quick Export as PNG. And then you're going to save it where you want to save it. Let's do here. And I'll do Lakers gold. Save. Okay, so now we are done with Photoshop. So close that up and go to your Cricut Design. So when you load up your Cricut Design, you're going to have this here. You're going to have it look like this home page here. So first what we're going to do is push new project. Okay, it's going to give you a blank screen. So what we're going to do is upload the image that we just exported. So go to upload image, browse, select your image that you want to, or the skulls that we just created. So here is the image, push complex and continue. You don't need to remove the background. This has already been removed. All you really need to do is push apply and there we go. So now, as you can see, these are what it's going to look like when you do cut your images. So as you can see, this is what I was telling you about. There was like this negative one, this blacked out one. That's way you can just put like your first layer color if you really wanted to on that. And it actually might eliminate this one. And honestly, this one is nothing either. So, even though we created these multi-layers, sometimes you don't even need them. To be honest with you, we're going to probably just get rid of those, but I'll show you how to do that. So you need to select it because we're going to upload it now. All right. Select it to add it to your canvas. And you have this large image. And again, Control Subtract will zoom out. And we're going to just make it a little smaller. All right, so this is what we're working with. So you see how all of it's attached, it's just one image. So what we're going to do is we're going to create the actual stencil. So what you're going to need to do is you need to go to your shapes, and then depending on what your stencil looks like, you want to pick that shape that's going to be what you're using. So try to get it within these little plus marks, and size it up. So, but once you get the correct size, you need to copy that square. So also, just because when you see I go over the image, you can't see where it's at. If you go to arrange and you go to send back, you can actually um, put it in the middle and get it like looking really good. So technically this looks literally perfect. So what I'm going to do is copy. Okay, so I'm going to push select Control C, and that's going to copy that onto my clipboard. So let's go back and remove it there. That's perfect. So what you're going to do now that you have your shape over where you want to cut out, you're going to select both of the image and this shape, because when you're slicing and creating these stencils, you have to pick only two objects. So that's this and this. So slice on the right hand side, push it one time, don't push it twice, three times, because it will create that many slices and it's just enough, like enough to clean up. See, it removed that. Okay, so now you have this, you don't need that, you don't need, and now you have one of your stencils. All right, so if you push Control V, you got the same size that we had earlier, and you want to keep these same size because it's just easier for you when you're painting. And it does not have to be perfect as far as like the location of it. Just try to get it about where it needs to be. And because the reason why we have these is so that you can check to make sure that they're placed properly. So anyways, let's go ahead and select both of them, push slice one time, remove this, remove that, and then bring this right here. Control V. Okay, so now that we're looking at this, you see how both of these are blacked out? Well, because Cricut doesn't like pick up these really tiny cuts, that is probably the reason why. So instead of using this one that doesn't have the little plus marks, let's just use this one since it looks the exact same. Send this back and put it where it needs to go. Ooh, Undo it because I kind of resized it a little bit. Okay, so put it where it needs to go, copy both images and slice it. All right, you can delete that. You can delete that. Okay, so actually it did come out with some cuts. So let's do Control Plus. And you've got this here. You see all of this stuff? I really feel like this is not necessary. So I'm gonna delete this one. And then let's just do this one. This one's better. Um, doesn't really matter, I guess, about the plus signs. We can live without it. So, but still try to get it in the middle, select both and slice it. Control, subtract. Okay, delete, delete. Now you've got this one. And then let's just sleep that because we do not need it. All right, so let's move everything back. Now we have our 3 stencils. So in order to resize them, you need to select all of them at the same time because you don't want to resize one and then it be like a different size than the other ones because that makes it a mess. But get it big enough to where you can see. Honestly, this Lakers is pretty, it's not looking really very great. Um, if you want to create a different Lakers, logo from a different image, I think that's probably best because it looks like this is not going to show up very well. But for the purpose of this tutorial, it doesn't matter. Okay, so just to give you guys an idea when we're cutting, if I were to cut this image right now, so do like, let's just get a little closer. If I were to cut this image out right now without doing anything to it, as you can see, all this outline, it's gonna literally like cut it and then everything in the middle is gonna fall out because it's not attached to anything. So to fix that, and if you really want to like, I mean, you could technically do that, but then you're gonna have to start placing things in when you're painting and it's just gonna be a mess. So let's fix that. So now go to your shapes. You can choose a rectangle or a square, resize it to, about that, and then copy it. So Control C, Control V is going to give you another copy. So what we're going to do is we're going to attach them in some areas so that this is a stencil that will not remove once we actually, you know, cut it. And keep in mind that you want to try and or like you're gonna have to go back when you do paint and fix these lines and so that just remember that. Also try not to like make it too hard on yourself. Don't add too many, but don't add too less. And also just because these can be like cut small, you want to try to do as well as you can with um, placement. So let's see. Okay, let's do that, and then we'll do one more here. Okay, and then this right here, it will be attached, but it will be, on its little last limb. So let's kind of connect this. There you go. And then maybe one more. Let's move it like right here. Oop. Yeah, let's do that. So it's attached to this here, this and this. Okay, so first what we're going to do is we're going to select the one. I wonder if we can do the whole thing at once. Let's see. So if you select the whole thing, let's see, we can go combine. Yeah, weld. And look what it does. Okay, you see how it just welded in there and it's now not completely like looking ugly. Sorry. Yeah, this looks awesome. So again, you don't have to do this, but this does help you. It saves time. It's gonna make an actual stencil. I mean, because that's essentially what they look like anyways. There we go. And I'm trying to see if there's anything else. Maybe this, let's attach that. Let's make it small. But you also, again, don't make this too like not wide enough because it won't even serve a purpose if it's too small. Let's see. Want to get this. Oh, it's not gonna let me, is it? Hmm. Let's see, bigger. Whatever. Okay, let's. I think I was gonna do controls. Okay, yeah. I think I was just gonna attach this one down here. Maybe let's just do a line like that. I mean, again, you are gonna have to go back with your paintbrush when you're painting and actually fix these lines. So let's combine and weld. Great. Perfect. Now you have it. So do that for each one, because again, this one's going to do the same thing. And then if you want to resize them, make them bigger, smaller, whatever you need. So like it looks like it's small, but if you're reading the dimensions, they're actually really big. Oh my God. Excuse me. What is happening here? Here, here. Okay, there we go. So you save it so that you can use them later. You know, you'll want to always do that. So stencil, let's do Lakers skull, pick where you want to go and then save it. Now what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna show you how to make it. You just go to make. And again, if you want to resize them, I mean, these are going to be kind of small because it's technically going onto one 12 by 12. So these are pretty small. But it may be what you need. And then you just push continue and then you are going to prepare to cut. So thank you for sticking with this. And if you have any questions, just let me know. But thank you.